I say skill or be real. You never reap the benefits of talents if you're still on the real. Get rid of all that vanity grill. See success, it needs an insanity feel. Look at your...
My main dream, or the dream I had when I started off in the entertainment industry, was to be, I guess, was to utilize my talents to the full, and also be as creative while as being business savvy as possible. And I think, yeah, it was just to make sure that everything I do, every piece of work that I do is as amazing as possible and I'm satisfied with it. Because at the end of the day, it's my philosophy that I can send something out there and people, you know, a lot of my friends will be like, okay, yeah, this is amazing, this is brilliant, because film's a sexy industry and, you know, people just like to see you doing it. But at the end of the day, if I'm not personally satisfied with it, then, you know, I'm just not really going to be, you know, it's not worth me doing it, I guess, so. The dream, I guess the dream has stayed the same, but the way that I go about getting it has kind of changed. And I've kind of learned a lot of stuff, you know, being in the industry and so forth. So, for instance, personally, I constantly, you know, want to make sure that, you know, my work, again, like I say, speaks for itself. And I want to be able to look at it on a level where I look at, for instance, when I look at other directors, say if I watch a Hitchcock film or a Christopher Nolan film, I think, you know, this is amazing. You know, I would love to do something like this, apart from Dark Knight Rises, because I didn't really like that. But we can get into that later. But I usually kind of, you know, like if I aspire to something, I want to be as good as that is, you know, and there's nothing that's stopping me from doing that. So in my mind, if I watch my thing and think, I would love to sit down and watch this myself if I didn't know who it was, then I kind of, you know, I'm satisfied. And I haven't achieved that fully yet. The only reason being is because my first actual feature film is about to be, well, it's in the works basically. So I'm just preparing scripts and everything, but I've had a look around the industry and I know kind of what I want to do and I know my style and I think I know exactly where I fit in. And that's what the past however long I've been doing this for has been leading me up to. I don't know if I had expectations of this industry before I came to work in it. I think I was almost like a kid, just, you know, happy to be doing this because, you know, ever since I was a baby, a toddler, I'd be in my room making stuff, you know, drawing comics, you know, putting stuff together. So it kind of like, I kind of feel like comfortable doing this. I guess one thing is that you always think that things are going to happen faster than they do. But then when you go on that journey, you realize that firstly, you have to go on the journey to kind of discover exactly what it is you really want and how to get there. And I think that that's what this journey has been. So I think film is a microcosm of life. You know, it hasn't been what it's expected. I expected it to be initially because I could have never known, you know, how much success and how much unhappiness I may have had. A highlight. Working with you, Kyla, that's the highlight of my career. No, but seriously, no, yeah, I think it, you know, really was cool. It's great to work with good people. You know, at the end of the day, you know, there's no other better feeling for me when you're on set with someone and you kind of like understand that you both want to make something which is amazing, you know? Because, you know, I've been on sets with people, or yeah, God willing, and, you know, it continues, but most of the sets I've been on have just been about people working together to really produce great products. There has been a couple of exceptions. There has been a couple of exceptions. But those, you know, those influences out of my control and other things happening and so forth. But generally, when I'm working with people who really are about the work and about creating something amazing, beautiful, that hasn't been seen before, then, you know, I'm in heaven. Specifically, winning the BFM Awards was amazing. When I won a BFM Short Award for Best Film on Hydra, that was an amazing experience. And being, you know, kind of new to the industry, that was something which really made me feel that I can do anything in this industry. And I've carried on with that mentality ever since. I think that the most difficult thing is, it's a hard one. The most difficult thing, to be honest, is making sure that I carry on finding, you know, individuals who I feel, you know, share the same passion and share the same perseverance. Because for me personally, it's not hard for me to you know, dedicate a lot of my time to, you know, writing a script or sitting in an edit or so forth. You know, you have to be aware that within life and within film, there are certain people who may, you know, just want to jump on board for the ride, or, you know, may just feel that, you know, may just kind of take your heart and your work and your spirit and try to just, you know, use it for their own ends. And at the end of the day, I've steered clear of most of those people. And it's just, you know, constantly making sure that I'm surrounding myself with people who are, you know, true and about the work. I've never ever felt like quitting at all. Like my big sister, she reminded me of a story when I was young, and she sat down with me one day and she was like, you know, I know you've been doing this for a while, you've been working, and that's one thing that I really like about you. And she was like, basically, when I was a kid, I would just go through through the dictionary and learn every single word. And she was like, I can see that persistence and perseverance in you. And to be honest, for myself personally, like I don't consider quitting. Like it just doesn't come to my mind. Like it's, you know, like I see what I have, and, you know, just for instance, the amount of work that I've got backed up to come out is like, I see it and I see what's out, and I feel to myself, I have to, you know, I can't think about quitting. It's just not in my head, you know, at all. In retrospect, the one piece of advice I wish I would have had before coming to work in the industry is that I can't do it all by myself. At the end of the day, just harking back to the Hydra, which was the first film I shot. Or it wasn't the first film I shot, but it was the first proper film which I did. It was me and two of my other friends who just got together and decided we want to make a film. And we went out and made that film. And I think that attitude is something which I've carried on. But at times, because I do know, and I'm fast in learning, so I have learned how to do a range of things within film. Sometimes I think I can film, shoot, edit, write, do the effects on a whole film, on a film or a music video or a commercial, and and I'll have time to do another one straight after. It's just, I think having people around who have the same passion is really important, and that's something I wish I would have known from the beginning, but I do know now, so. What I think is the key to making it in the industry depends on what I think is making it. So, first and foremost, and when you say the industry as well, when people say the industry, it depends on what industry you're talking about, because, media as a whole is multifaceted nowadays. You got so many different portals and access points for people to, consume content. So I think that finding where you fit in amongst all these different content providers and all these different forms of content is essential, first and foremost. And just deciding who you want to be as a filmmaker or as a director or writer or actor, you know, is essential. So it's just really, it's really just finding where you fit in and becoming as good at what you do as possible, because I think what this industry really lacks is a lot of individualism. That's where creativity comes from, and I think if you can be a person who is an individual, who has their own lane to walk in, then you have your own brand, and at the end of the day, no one can take that away from you, and no one can compete on the fact that no one can be you.
Kill or be killed, I say skill or be real. You'll never reap the benefits of talents if you're still on the real. Get rid of all that vanity grill. See success, it needs an insanity feel. Look at your life, who decides? Yes, you make decisions, swallow your pride, scuba dive, jump into position, see the signs,